Hello, everyone. My name is Mark Lichtenwalter, host of Zion's Redemption Radio Network on YouTube and Rumble, and also Red Pill Mormon on TikTok. Today we're going to be covering how the Earth is going to become a celestialized sphere, a great Urim and Thummim that we will be able to look into and to see the eternities of God's. Um, we'll also be talking about how this Earth will be taken out of this orbit and brought back into the orbit where God the Eternal Father is, and all of the Earths who have already gone through the process of becoming celestialized orbs. Um, each of these orbs gives off light like a sun or a star, and that we will be among them, or those who qualify to remain on this earth will be among them, and there will be no night there, because our earth will actually give off its own light and glory, because it will be resurrected and become a celestial earth. So, but not only that, the other earths who've gone through the same process will all be gathered up in the same thing. So anyway, yeah, that's what this chapter's about. Brigham Young and Joseph Smith and others talked about these things. It is beautiful meat of the gospel, some prime rib, if you will, and I hope that you enjoy it. Today is, well, I'm recording on December 24th, and I am, oh, I don't know, 20 miles outside of Moab, Utah, headed down to Monticello and then over to Cortez to get loaded. And then I get to go up to Moroni. Yay. Anyway, but this will air on Christmas Day. And one last thing, um, Zion's Redemption Radio Network on YouTube goes live in a live premiere with a live chat Monday through Friday. I'm sorry, Sunday through Friday, 6 days a week at 6 p.m. Mountain Time. So anyway, thanks for watching. Take care, everyone, and I will see you in just 1 minute.
Part 4 of Eternal Destiny of Earth and Man, Chapter 19 of Mysteries of Creation by Ogden Kraut. Pages 187 and 188. It will not then be an opaque body as it now is, but it will be like the stars of the firmament, full of light and glory. It will be a body of light. John compared it, in its celestialized state, to a sea of glass. Journal of Discourses, Volume 7, page 163. We shall go and come, and when we are in the eternity, we shall be on this earth, which will be brought into the immediate presence of the Father and the Son. We shall inhabit different mansions, and worlds will continue to be made, formed, and organized, and messengers from this earth will be sent to others. This earth will become a celestial body, be like a sea of glass, or like a Urim and Thummim, and when you wish to know anything, you can look in this earth and see all the eternities of God. We shall make our home here, and go on our missions as we do now, but at greater than railroad speed. Journal of Discourses, Volume 8, page 200. It is interesting.
One interesting thing about Journal of Discourses, Volume 8, page 200, is that it talks about the messengers of this earth will be sent to other earths or other spheres. Um, the messengers don't qualify to stay on the celestial earth. These are individuals who are terrestrial and telestial in nature. They will be going on to the new earth. But there are also many of those who are noble and great, mighty and strong, the witness, the Redeemer, the Adam, the Elohim. They'll go on with the new earth as well to help with that earth. And Jehovah, he'll stay there. So Michael will also go with the new earth, but I think that I'm not sure about this, but I think he goes back to the celestial earth um, after after he's passed the reins on to the Redeemer. Um, but he does assist the Adam of that world. So, but the messengers are they who are ministering angels, ministering spirits, the ones who do not qualify to stay on the celestialized earth. So they'll go on to that new earth, and they'll be given new mortal probations, and there will be a test on this earth, which we would call on the last earth we'd call it the war in heaven. But before this earth gets to the point where it is turned into a fire of sea and glass, there will be a time when Satan and all of his demons are released again to test and tempt man, and yeah, that'll be the war in heaven for the next earth. So we'll look back on that as the war in heaven when we're already on that earth. So anyway, excuse me. And this earth will be taken away from this sun, this orbit. So, all right, let's get into the next part. Thank you for listening.
It's interesting that even scientists have concluded that if this Earth ever experienced extreme heat, it would become like glass. The industries that manufacture glass products tell us that there is so much silica, lime, potash and other products in the Earth that if the Earth was melted at an extreme temperature it would become a ball of glass. See Science Digest Special, July 1967, page 45. A New Heaven and a New Earth. The promise has been given that the earth will return from its fallen place to again be placed in its former residence with God. The prophet Joseph Smith said, "This earth will be rolled back into the presence of God, and crowned with celestial glory." Teachings of the prophet Joseph Smith, page 181. Brigham Young commented, "The earth will abide its creation, and will be counted worthy of receiving the blessings designed for it, and will ultimately roll back into the presence of God who formed it." Journal of Discourses Volume 8 page 188. And again, this earthly ball, this little opaque substance thrown off into space, is only a speck in the great universe, and when it is celestialized it will go back into the presence of God, where it was first framed. Journal of Discourses Volume 9 page 317. The Apostle Orson Hyde elaborated on this grand occasion by beautifully explaining, "What becomes of the earth then? Why, says the prophet, it shall reel to and fro like a drunkard, and shall be removed like a cottage, and the transgression therefore shall be heavy upon it, and it shall fall, and not rise again. If the earth falls, which way will it go, up or down? Tell me, ye wise men, ye philosophers. Will not the greatest and most powerful planet attract it whether it goes up or down? For the greater bodies attract the lesser. If the earth falls, and is not to rise again, it will be removed out of its present orbit. Where will it go to? God says He will gather all things into one, then He will gather the earth likewise, and all that is in it, in one. The gathering will be upon a larger scale in time to come, for by and by the stars of heaven will fall. Which way will they go? They will rally to a grand center, and there will be one grand constellation of worlds. I pray that we may be there, and shine among those millions of worlds that will be stars in the Almighty's crown. The earth will have to be removed from its place, and reel to and fro like a drunkard. The fact is, it has got to leave the old track in which it has roamed in time past, and beat a new track, and saith the Lord, "Come up here." What is He going to do with it? Why, take it where the sun will shine upon it continually, and there shall be no more night there, and the hand of God will wipe away the tears from all faces. Come up here, O earth. For I want the saints who have passed through much tribulation to be glorified with you, and then I will give the earth to the meek. For I will take the curse from it, and rebuke the destroyer for your sakes, and bring all things in subjection to you, and you shall dwell in everlasting light. Now it is half day and half night, but I tell you it is not going to be half and half, but there will be no night there. We have but one sun to shine upon us, but when the Earth is taken out of this orbit, it will come in contact with the rays of other suns that illuminate other spheres. Their rays will dazzle our Earth, and make the glory of God rest upon it, so that there will be no more night there. Journal of Discourses Volume 1 pages 129 and 130. Part 4 of Eternity.
So, yeah, like this Earth is going to be taken from this solar system, and we're going to go back into the presence of God the Eternal. One thing that I really think is cool about this is, like, as the heavens are wrapped up like a scroll and the stars are falling past us as we're moving at incredible speeds, using the technology of the advanced civilization of the Elohim under God the Eternal, will be pulled back into that place. One other thing that's really cool is everybody, all the other Earths, go through a similar time where they're having new Earths created for them as well, and their Earths, as well as ours, will go back into the presence of the Eternal. And it would not surprise me that we would see many other Earths coming into the presence of the Eternal and being celestialized at the same time. So we go through the 7,000 and then the 8,000 year period of each Earth. And you know, these Earths, um, they're organized, but there are many worlds out there that don't have anybody on them. They may not even have spirits. I'm not sure. I don't know if Neptune and Jupiter have spirits. But our Earth does. This is a living planet. Mars is a dead planet. You know, of course that's speculation on my part, but I don't know. I just find it interesting. So yeah, like we're gonna see some really awesome things in the next 2,000 years. So really awesome things, especially if you're able to remain on the celestial Earth. But um, you may not want to remain on the celestial Earth. You might want to travel with your family groups because you love them and you want to help them progress. You know, you may decide to put off your resurrection and go into mortality to help them. But also, you're helping yourself because even if you're qualified to come onto a new Earth, or not to stay on a celestial Earth, um, you want to help your family. You know, and if you're chosen to be one of the presidency, the Adam, the Redeemer, or the Witness, you're going to want to go with your brothers and sisters to help you. If you're chosen to be one who is mighty and strong for an Earth, you're going to want to go with your brothers and sisters to help you, even though they're going to not know who you are. You know, when they come into mortality, you probably won't know who you are until you're older. Um, you're still and they're going to attack you, but you love them and you know that whatever happens, it's worth it to help everyone to progress. You may be one of the noble and great ones. You're going to want to come here to help them progress. So I find it interesting that right before God asks who will go for me, he's talking to the noble and great ones who are souls. Well, uh, it later defines what a soul is. A soul is a spirit connected with a body, and the noble and great ones in the pre-existence had souls. They already had bodies. They had bodies from the last earth. That's part of the doctrine of eternal lives, and they put off those bodies because not only do they love God, but they do love us. Sometimes it's hard to love um, a disobedient, rebellious teenager, but you still love them, and you know that unless they do something really stupid, that's not the end of their life. They'll get out of it. You know, they will grow up and they can have a very productive, meaningful life, raise children, provide for their families, have the experiences of mortality, and gain the experience that they need and the knowledge that they need in this life, in each life. So we do it because we love them, um, and we know how much God loves them, and we know how much the Elohim love them, and the Eternals are the ones who are eternal. They love them. You know, it, God's power is love, and like the first time I was in the presence of the Father, it was just, and I didn't see him, but I heard his voice. Jesus Christ brought me into that place, but I only heard his voice at that time. It was back in '95, and his love was just overwhelming, like the most powerful thing I had ever felt in my entire life up to that point. And then when I've been with him um, in the flesh, or in vision, or in dreams, like I felt that love. His love is so powerful, and he really does love us unconditionally. Um, the only reason he has to destroy certain individuals, like the sons of perdition, is because if he allowed them to gain in numbers over the eons of time, they would, their little wars in heaven would be not um, localized to one planet. That they would try to overthrow the gods, and so God knows that that if you allowed them to remain in their wickedness after a certain point, it's just you can't bring them back from that. So so he has to destroy them to preserve everyone else. So anyway, I know it's hard to understand, but all right. Well, I'm almost to Moab now, and I'm going to go around this corner. I'm driving next to this old. I'm just passing this old woman. She looks like she's in her late 60s, early 70s, in a semi truck in a Volvo, a little Oriental. Well, I think she's Oriental. She could be Indian. There's a lot of Indian reservations down here, but yeah, like I always get a kick out of people that say, "Oh, I could never do that job." Well, if that little old lady I just passed can do this job, I think you can do this job. Driving truck isn't like driving a vehicle, like a car, though. It does wear you out. You have to build up a tolerance. But you know what? Like the technology advances, um, since I started driving truck, especially since the truck that I first started driving was a 1945 Deuce and a half. Oh my gosh, you had to be very strong in your arms and your chest and your everything to drive that truck. But now they've got power steering and lane assist and adaptive cruise control, automatics. It's very easy to drive a truck, and I see a lot of women coming into the industry, old and young. You know, uh, Even men that would not be able to drive the old trucks, um, they're doing it. But it does take a lot of patience to do this job, and the constant shaking of the truck does wear your body out over years. I've been driving, with the exception of my mission, since 1995. I got my CDL in '95 for semi trucks, and I started driving that 1945 Deuce and a half back in October of '94, before I went to diesel mechanic school. But I don't know. I love my job. It's so pretty here. I'm right at the north end of Moab and looking at all these rocks. And you know, when I was coming into town, there's like these mountains that are snow-capped here. I wish you could see them. I can't point my camera over there, or the little tattletale uh, backwards camera that I have will get mad at me and deduct points off of my almost perfect CD driving score. But anyway, I was looking at that as I was coming in these snow-capped mountains, and I was like, "Oh my gosh!" Like the majority of people who come to Moab, they want to see the red rocks and stuff, you know, and they want to go take their jeeps out and their whatever, and you know, even their bicycles. There's two people riding their mountain bikes here, you know, or they want to go up the river, you know, the Colorado River that runs right through here, which I'm about to go over right now. You know, and they do all this stuff, but I think it's funny because like it's all at the bottom of this area. You go up a little bit, but I was thinking, oh my gosh, people that go to Moab are all bottom dwellers because they're not going up into the snow-peaked mountains. They can do that in other places. They're actually running around just enjoying the red rock and stuff. And like, there's like no snow down here in the valley at all. Like, let me see what it's 68 degrees. Ugh. Man, 68 degrees. Anyway, I still have 56 miles till I get to Monticello. Um, Before I get there, I have to drive through downtown Moab, which also is pretty, but I don't know. It's just a tourist trap. I think it is. I mean, it's pretty here. But one of the things I really like about driving truck is just seeing the sights. Of course, you know, after 2 years of driving the truck back in the 90s over the road after my mission, um, I I just started driving at night because like I was like I've seen everything, you know. It's all the same. Well, back here in the West, it's not all the same. It, I like it. Anyway, all right. Well, I'm going to get this uploaded once again. Zion's Redemption Radio Network goes live on a premiere with a live chat Sunday through um, Friday at 6 p.m. And all of the shows are going to be under 1 hour. So also follow me on YouTube and TikTok, all the places, because I actually do post other videos besides that. That's just my main program that I do, my lesson for the day. But I also do I'll post other videos and stuff from time to time. So, like for instance, yesterday I wrote an article about basically stop trusting in the arm of flesh and get revelation for yourself, you know. So, all right, well, going 30 miles an hour through Moab right now. So this episode will air December 25th, 2025, which will be a Thursday. So thank you for watching, everyone. Take care. God bless, and shalom.